Peter Smith?
Peter Smith? Who's Peter Smith?
Who's an advert?
Hmm?
Who's an advert?
Who's an advert? There might be a follower announcing them.
Talking about
Peter Smith.
you can apparently they're launching that now on YouTube. We can respond with comments
Really? Audio comments?
Audio comments.
I wouldn't mind doing like the voiceover for you. If Peter Smith enters the room and I go, Peter Smith.
Peter Smith has entered the room. We won't really talk like that. We've got a whole one person watching, which is me. So welcome to myself. I might play the quiz against myself, but we'll give it a few minutes. Because who normally comes into our quizzes? You remember their names? Derek,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else?
No.
No. I thought I had more tea left. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone, guys. Oh, that's the other thing I need, isn't it? I need the answers up.
Are you still alive?
Yeah. Still alive. 2 people watching there.
You know it's impossible to scroll TikTok without
Noise.
sound on.
Well, just TikTok's rubbish anyway.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Where am I going? We're going to a history quiz. And this is where we're at. Hey Raymond, welcome to the chat. We're just
Yes, Raymond.
we're just gonna wait a few minutes just to see if we can get a few more people into the room. How are you anyway? How has your day been? We've got starting off with a nice history quiz, which I think is quite tough. I will be honest. 6 people in the room. We are going to be starting this quiz within the next 5 minutes. So please do stick around if you fancy playing some quizzes. These are all interactive quizzes, which you will find on my website, ultimatepubquiz.com. 19 people in the room now. So welcome to this. We're going to be starting this quiz in a couple of minutes, so please do stick around. And also, do let me know what kind of quizzes you want to see, because I'm making these quizzes all the time, every day now. And they're going straight on my ultimatepubquiz.com. And then I will also do things like this, like lives, or turn them into a video. Raymond, you're just out of hospital. I hope everything is all good and you are now well and resting. And on the way to recovery, said Laura. 15 people watching. I think we'll jump in. What do you reckon? Let's go. What US policy introduced in 1823 that efforts by European governments to colonize land or interfere with states in the Americas would be viewed by the USA as acts of aggression requiring US intervention became one of the longest standing tenets of the US foreign policy? Charters of Freedom, Gettysburg Address, the Monroe Doctrine, nearly, or the Domino Theory. We're starting off with history. We will do some other quizzes as well, but this is where we're going to start with. Let me go and find the answer while you all have a think as to what the answer to this one could be. I now have the answer. Oh, good answer straight away in there. Straight away, Raymond has gone in with C, the Monroe Doctrine. And the reason I said it was a good answer is because it's the correct answer. Let's move on to question 2. International Workers' Day is observed in many countries of the world on the 1st of May. What does it commemorate? The sentencing of the Tolpuddle martyrs, the achievements of the international labour movement, the first general strike in the UK, or the formation of the first Communist Party? International Workers' Day. Just going and getting the answer. Although I would have thought the answer would be pretty obvious from the answers that are available. International Workers' Day is observed in many countries of the world on 1st of May. What does it commemorate? Give you a few seconds to answer. Welcome to the quiz if you've just joined. Got 13 people in the room. Please do get involved. We're going to do a couple of quizzes. This is a history quiz, and we will get into something different straight after this as well. So the answer to this one, and again, remember you can play these quizzes interactively on ultimatepubquiz.com. And the answer to this one was B, the achievements of the international labour movement. 19 people watching, welcome. Please do get involved. Please do supply your answers. Okay, the next question, question 3. What news source operating from the US Department of Defense that publishes daily newspapers for the US Armed Forces serving overseas was first published in November 1861 during the First American Civil War? Stars and Stripes, War Cry, The Star-Spangled Banner, Hail to the Chief. Which one of those answers are you going to go for? Shannon, really appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully you will join for many more quizzes. There's quite a few quizzes on the channel that I've already done. I'll do different themes and stuff like that as well. But also you can play these interactively on my very own purposely built website that I did all by myself. Welcome, Shannon. I hope you stick around. 24 people in the room. Just going to shout out quickly that please do support the channel by subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and also getting involved in the chat with these. Derek, welcome. A nice trusted friend that has also been here alongside Raymond a few times as well. So let's get going with this one. I'm just going to pull up the answer to this one. What news source? Thank you, Shannon. Really appreciate that. What news source operating from the US Department? So that's the words I'm looking for. Basically, what I do is I read the question out, and then I have to go and look at what I put to find out the answer, because I'll never remember them. I'll never remember them. So the answer to this one, we've got a few A's, it looks like, going in, which is a good answer, because it's a good answer when it's the right answer. Stars and Stripes is correct. Moving on to question 4. Presidents of the USA, Richard Nixon and Herbert Hoover, had what religious upbringing? Lutheran, Baptist, Scientologist, or Quaker? Let's try that again. Presidents of the USA, Richard Nixon and Herbert Hoover, had what religious upbringing? Lutheran, Baptist, Scientologist, or Quaker?
Shout out Mormon, but you didn't say it.
Oh, you was going to shout out Mormon. You're well versed on that now, aren't you? With all the different programs you've been watching.
No, I'm not moderating tonight.
You're not moderating tonight. Okay. What I'm looking for? Presidents. Presidents. That's what I'm looking for. And we've got a few D's, it looks like, and D is the correct answer. It was Quaker. Very well done. I wouldn't have known that. Okay, let's move on to question 5. Yeah, no moderators tonight, Laura has just mentioned. In 1835, James Pratt and John Smith were hanged outside Newgate Prison in London in the last execution in England for this activity after a conviction for what? Highway robbery, petty treason, sodomy, or piracy? In 1835, James Pratt and John Smith were hanged outside Newgate Prison in London in the last execution of England for this activity. What? After a conviction for what? Did I say something wrong? Oh, I was wondering, genuinely wondering, if it was one of those where I'd said the word wrong. You're just having a little giggle to yourself.
Read the back.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, let's hope it
It wasn't that one.
wasn't. Let's hope it wasn't that one. Yeah.
Oh,
Very
dear.
random. Laura just went and checked out some of the meanings.
I already know what it was, but I'm
Yeah, you just couldn't believe. You just couldn't believe it was in the answer. Okay, let me go and find out the answer. 1835 is what I'm looking for. Let's go down. And 1835, there it is. Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. It actually was C, sodomy. Okay, let's continue. Question 6. What is the name given to the 1st of April, which, according to ancient custom, is still marked in many countries by carrying out hoaxes and other practical jokes of varying sophistication? And I would be very, very surprised if I need to give any answers out here, because it's pretty obvious that it's Halloween. This one is a nice, simple one. We're going to get lots of A's all the way going down. I can imagine. In fact, actually, it's so easy, I'm just going to move on from that. Sometimes I don't verify what I'm writing. Che Guevara is associated with the history of which of these countries? Somalia, India, Cuba, or Italy? Che Guevara is associated with the history of which of these countries? Somalia, India, Cuba, or Italy? I'm pretty confident I know the answer, but I will go and check. Che Guevara. Let's go and have a look where you are. There he is, and exactly as I thought. Also notice as well, you can also click on the like icon. I don't know if you can do it. No, I can't do it myself. Which can potentially share this quiz to other people. So I'm sure that this will do well as we continue. But if you are there and you can see that heart, then please do keep clicking on that as well. And the answer to this one is, of course, C, Cuba. Let's continue. In what were the Umayyad and Abbasid dynasty's early leaders? Is it A, I've got a blank answer. Is it B, opposing the Ottoman Empire? C, weapon design? Or D, Muslim faith? Not quite sure why A is blank. That's obviously a little error. So it's B, C, or D. Let's go and have a look in what were. Obviously, I missed out the potential answer. Okay, we have the answer. It is definitely one of those three. But which one is it? Derek has gone C. Raymond has gone B. And I can tell you it is weapon design. 8 people watching, please do stick around. We're doing some quizzes. George Whitfield and Jonathan Edwards were well known in the British American colonies in the mid-18th century for being what? Campaigners against the slave trade, medicine show proprietors, Methodist preachers, or travelling actors? George Whitefield and Jonathan Edwards were well known in the British American colonies in the mid-18th century for being what? Campaigners against the slave trade, medicine show proprietors, Methodist preachers, or travelling actors? And the answer to this one, let's do a little scroll, make it a little bit exciting. It was, I can't remember. I do remember. Methodist preachers, there we go. Methodist preachers was the answer to question 9. Question 10. Besides the relatively recent annual honorarium of £5,750, the Poet Laureate of the UK has since the 1500s been traditionally rewarded annually with what? Free stabling for a horse, 12 partridges, 100 goose quills and a pint of ink, or a butt of sack? Very random question, this one. Besides the relatively recent annual honorarium of £5,750, the Poet Laureate of the UK has since the 1500s been traditionally rewarded annually with what? I will go and find my answer while you guys put your answer in. We've got B's going in there, it looks like. I can tell you now that the answer to this one is a butt of sack. Who knew? Okay, question 11. What caused the ancient Egyptian temples of Dhaka, Maharaka, Wadis Subua, Amada, and Dur to be dismantled in the 1960s and rebuilt elsewhere? You can tell I really struggled with saying them. What caused the ancient Egyptian temples of Dhaka, Maharaka, Wadis Subua, Amada, and Dur to be dismantled in the 1960s and rebuilt elsewhere? Was it they were brought and moved to the USA, underground mining operations, the building of the Aswan Dam, or sand dunes were covering them? I'll give you a few seconds to answer on that particular one. If you are just joining, we are playing quizzes live with quizzes that I make that you can also play interactively on my website, ultimatepubquiz.com. And I'll give you a few seconds to answer on this one. If you are watching and this is the kind of content you enjoy, then please do consider liking this video and also subscribing to my channel, where I'll be doing a lot more quizzes like this going forward. The answer to this one is C, the building of the Aswan Dam. Question 12. What was the nickname of the British Army regiment called the 17th Lancers, Duke of Cambridge own? Was it the Crossbelts, the Death or Glory Boys, the Green Horse, or the Skins? What was the nickname of the British Army regiment called the 17th Lancers, Duke of Cambridge's own, the Crossbelts, the Death or Glory Boys, the Green Horse, or the Skins? Give you a few more seconds to answer on this one while I go and look at what the answer actually was. I wish I was smart enough to know all these answers off by heart after making them, but unfortunately that is not the case. And I'm struggling to find it. Where are you? What was the nickname of the British Army? I think I'm having a mad one. There we go. Okay, so the answer to this question was the Death or Glory Boys. Let's continue going along. The Peasants' Revolt in England in 1381, led by men such as John Ball, Wat Tyler, and Jack Straw, and the most extreme and widespread insurrection in English history, was about what? Taxation, religious freedom, racial persecution, lack of state-provided education. The Peasants' Revolt in England in 1381, led by men such as John Ball, Wat Tyler, and Jack Straw, and the most extreme and widespread insurrection in English history, was about what? Taxation, religious freedom, racial persecution, or lack of state-provided education? And I shall give you a few more seconds to answer. And the answer to this one was A, taxation. Moving on to question 14. Where are the Kasuba tombs? Where are the Kasuba tombs, also known as the Sekabaka's tombs, the burial grounds for four kings which were badly damaged by fire on the 16th of March 2010? Was it Khartoum, Sudan? Was it El Amin in Egypt, Kampala, Uganda, or Baghdad, Iraq? Where are the Kasubi tombs, also known as the Sekabaka's tombs, the burial grounds for four kings, which was badly damaged on the 16th of March 2010? I'm just going to roll down here. Let me find the answer. And this one was really tough, very tough question, this one. And the answer to this one is Kampala, Uganda. 15 of 20. What was the cause of a state of emergency in Kenya from October 1952 to December 1959? Mau Mau Rebellion, severe flooding of the Zambezi River, volcanic eruption at Marion Island, the activities of serial killer Charles Kwanzaa. What was the cause of a state of emergency in Kenya from October 52 to December 59? Mau Mau Rebellion, severe flooding of the Zambezi River, volcanic eruption at Marion Island, the activities of serial killer Charles Kwanzaa. Notice a new answer in the chat there, which was Know You the Duke of Argy. Oh, sorry, no, I noticed now there's a couple of L's there. Know You the Duke of Argyll, so welcome to the quiz. Let's go and have a look at what the answer to this one is. So while I'm doing that, do put your answers in the chat. What was got the answer somewhere. Incidentally, if you have just joined in, I will mention it again. These quizzes are all interactive and available to play on my website, Empire. No, that's a different one. ultimatepubquiz.com. And the answer to this one is A, the Mau Mau Rebellion. Very well done there. Good answer. I'd love to pronounce this word correctly, but I'm pretty sure I won't. Tafahau, later known as George Tupou the First. Tupou the First finally united what country under his rule in 1852? The Cook Islands, New Guinea, Hawaii, or Tonga? Tafahau, later known as George Tupou the First, finally united what country under his rule in 1852? The Cook Islands, New Guinea, Hawaii, or Tonga? And give a few more seconds for you to answer. And the answer to this question is D, Tonga. We've got 4 questions to go on this quiz. What was used instead of paper in ancient Egypt? Was it platypus, papyrus, papacy, or pyroxene? What was used instead of paper in ancient Egypt? Platypus, papyrus, papacy, if I said that correctly, or pyroxene? And the answer to this one, if we're going with what it sounds like, is right. It's B, papyrus. We've got 3 to go. I do apologise in advance for any of my really dodgy pronunciations. What organisation was founded in London in July 1961 by English Labour lawyer Peter Benenson? Was it Greenpeace, Amnesty International, Oxfam, or Mensa? What organisation was founded in London in July 1961 by English Labour lawyer Peter Benenson? Greenpeace, Amnesty International, Oxfam, or Mensa? And again, I'll give a few more seconds for the answers to be put in. And the answer, we've got a couple of B's there that I can see, and B is the correct answer. It's Amnesty International. 2 questions on history to go. How many kings of England were called Henry? 4, 6, 8, or 9? How many kings of England were called Henry? 4, 6, 8, or 9? Just going to find out the answer now. I've obviously zoomed past it. There we go. We've got the answer. And the answer to this one is right. You're both right. It is Ace. Correct. On fire in the quiz chat. Last question. Which of these buildings was the earliest to begin to be built? Was it St Paul's Cathedral, Royal Albert Hall, the Millennium Bridge, Westminster Abbey? Which of these buildings was the earliest to begin to be built? St Paul's Cathedral, Royal Albert Hall, Millennium Bridge, or Westminster Abbey? And what I'm going to do on this particular one as well, just going to show you what it looks like when I get a question wrong, so you can see exactly how that works from an interactive perspective on my website. So just give me a second. And the answer to this one is Westminster Abbey. I'm going to put the wrong answer. I'm going to put Millennium Bridge. And then you can see there that it will tell you what the correct answer is. And then there's also the opportunity as well to go onto the leaderboard as well. So that is something that you can go and check out. You can play these interactively. ultimatepubquiz.com. I'm going to be adding a lot of questions over the coming days, so that would be awesome if you can go and check that out. Let's go and have a look at a new quiz that I've added today. I'm trying to think of which ones I've actually added, so just bear with me. I think I added an entertainment one, maybe. Let me go and have a look what was the last one I entered into there. Actually, this one's quite tough, actually. I will do it. The movies, music, books and more quiz. It's quite tough, I will say that. It's not your standard entertainment quiz. And tough is always good anyway. It's a challenge. Oh, no, we won't do that because I've got the wrong one in there. Let me just double check. I'm just going to make sure that it's because I haven't... No. Okay. We might as well play this now I've done this. Let's name the cartoon character. I've put the wrong quiz embed into there. So I'm glad I've done this because I can go and correct it. So, is this Ren, Tigger, Winnie the Pooh, or Yogi Bear? We're playing some nice cartoon quiz instead. I will go through this quite quickly. Answer is Winnie the Pooh. Now, of course, the other thing that you've got to think about here as well, obviously, most of them I should remember. But there may be one or two that I don't. If I get more than two wrong, then I unfortunately won't be able to finish the quiz. So is this Daisy, Minnie Mouse, Hello Kitty, or Betty Boop? At the moment, we're okay because it's fairly straightforward for me. Is this Daisy, Minnie Mouse, Hello Kitty, or Betty Boop? And of course, it is D, Betty Boop. Let's move on to the next one. Is this Daffy Duck, Fuzzy Duck, Donald Duck, or Daisy Duck? Is this Daffy Duck, Fuzzy Duck, Donald Duck, or Daisy Duck? Give you a few seconds to answer. C, straight away from Know You, the Duke of Argyll. Derek also agrees the same, that it's Donald Duck, and I think we're pretty confident that that will be the answer. Moving on to the next one. Is this Charlie Brown, George, Butthead, or Elmer Fudd? Is this Charlie Brown, George, Butthead, or Elmer Fudd? Again, we're okay. I still know these answers. This quiz was quite a long time ago that I made this as well. But I'm determined to make Ultimate Pub Quiz and Quizzes with Chris successful. So you may see me quite a bit over the coming weeks doing the lives, making new quizzes, and also adding quizzes on that website. I'm determined to make it a success. And of course, the answer to this one is Charlie Brown. On to the next one. Is this Tomcat, Garfield, Hello Kitty, or Felix the Cat? A lot of these questions actually will be easy by just eliminating the ones it isn't. So we know that it's not Tomcat. It definitely doesn't look like Garfield. And I can't imagine Hello Kitty looking like that either. So the answer would be, of course, D, Felix the Cat. 14 people in the room, welcome. Please do get involved by putting the answers in the chat for these questions. Is this Johnny Bravo, Bart Simpson, Beavis, or Popeye? Another very straightforward, simple one. Johnny Bravo, Bart Simpson, Beavis, or Popeye? playing a little bit later tonight. Normally I try to start these before 8 o'clock UK time. The answer to this one is, of course, Bart Simpson. Let's go on to the next question. Is this Daffy Duck, Jerry, Roadrunner, or Woody Woodpecker? Is this Daffy Duck, Jerry, Roadrunner, or Woody Woodpecker? And a couple more seconds before I reveal the answer. Derek and No have both gone for Roadrunner, and that's because it's the right answer. Question 8 of 15. Is this Pluto, Shaggy, Goofy, or Scooby-Doo? Is this Pluto, Shaggy, Goofy, or Scooby-Doo? Okay, again, this one's really easy, this quiz. This is a quiz that I made many months ago when I was sort of starting out with this project, and I was just wanting to get a bit of interest with a few easier quizzes, and that's exactly what it looks like is going on with this one, because of course it's Scooby-Doo. Let's go on to the next one. Again, super easy. Roger Rabbit, Pink Panther, Woody, or Stimpy? Roger Rabbit, Pink Panther, Woody, or Stimpy?
And there's already some bits in it that I've got for you.
Again, this is very easy. This is my childhood growing up. I even think I actually had one of these as a plushie that we call plushie today. Apologies about the noise in the background you may hear. That's just the family having a chat. So do apologise if you can hear that, but it's not a problem. Let's go to the answer, which is, of course, Pink Panther. Okay, is this Daffy Duck, Stimpy, Woody Woodpecker, or Roadrunner? Is this Daffy Duck? So Derek said, hi, Laura. They can hear you in the background there, so give you a nice big shout. Say. Hiya. Daffy Duck, Stimpy, Woody Woodpecker, or Roadrunner? Again, we've gone straight in with the answers there on C, and that's because C is the correct answer. On to the next one. Is this Roadrunner, Goofy, Pink Panther, or Bugs Bunny? Is this Roadrunner, Goofy, Pink Panther, or Bugs Bunny? Another super easy one. Another super easy one. This quiz is just genuinely too easy. We've got 4 to go. Is this Rasta Mouse, Tiny Mouse, Mickey Mouse, or Minnie Mouse? I definitely don't think it's Rasta Mouse.
I love Rasta Mouse when he used to
So did I. It was a pretty cool program, wasn't it? This one is, of course, Mickey Mouse. Just to let you know, there is 3 questions to go. This will be the final quiz from me tonight. But tomorrow, I hope to be on much earlier. Is this Felix the Cat, Tomcat, Garfield, or Hello Kitty? Is this Felix the Cat, Tomcat, Garfield, or Hello Kitty? And of course, this one is Garfield. We've got 2 to go. If you are just joining, please do join tomorrow when I will be starting this quiz a little bit earlier than I did today. And we'll try and get through 3 rounds tomorrow if we're lucky. The question here is this Johnny Bravo, Beavis, Bart Simpson, or Peter Griffin? There's quite a random mix there, wasn't there, of people? I actually remember this growing up. My mum actually used to call me Bushead. But of course, the answer to this one is Beavis. We've got the last question for tonight. So I'm hoping everyone will throw the answer in, like this quiz, and then also subscribe if you haven't. Is this Mavis, Angelica, Trisha, or Brittany? Mavis, Angelica, Trisha, or Brittany? And the answer to the final question of the day, you've both got it right. is B, Angelica. And that is the end of this quiz. That is also the end from me today. Again, if you have just joined, I'm doing quizzes both on here, Quizzes with Chris, and also my interactive website, ultimatepubquiz.com, where you'll be able to play this quiz and many other quizzes that I'm also making. And it'd be wonderful to get your support by liking this video and also subscribing to my channel. And please do let other people know about what I'm doing. And I will see you in another quiz very, very soon. Thanks for playing.